I'm Lynn with Psychic Focus at psychicfocus.blogspot.com, and today I wanted to look at the Australia fires. And there's a lot going on out there, and there's a lot of people being affected by this, a lot of curiosity. So I thought I would tackle this topic. And so I took one of the questions sent to me, and what they said was, "Hello Lynn, can you do a reading about the Australia fires and DEW, direct energy weapons? I've heard that they've been intentionally set like the fires in California. As always, much love and protection to you and your family, and thanks for all you do." And there's a link that goes in to describe a little bit more about the fires and what is going on. And the second part of the question said, there's also a group emerging called CLARA. And what that stands for is Consolidated Land and Rail Australia, which is interesting. It's a rail system they were wanting to put in. So I took all this information and I thought about Australia, the geographic area. What is going on? What is the energy there? All these different things I wanted to take into consideration. And when I looked at this disastrous situation, I absolutely got an element of intentional fires being set there. And the energy around Australia is very similar to what California felt like. The people, the situation, just everything that is going on there feels as though there's a parallel between the two. In both scenarios, I see something that looks like a beam being shot from a ship and bouncing back off the atmosphere, similar to how HARP works when they're harping different things, when chemtrails. And these enormous fires that are rampant look more like they're being observed rather than being stopped. It's as if people are watching it happen, but doing, not everybody, there are some real heroes in there saving people's lives and doing what they can, but there are people I got that really could do more than what they're doing to get this situation under control and stop it. And it's as if the action that could be put in motion is severely lessened, and the impact that it could have, yeah, you might have a fire, but the damage could be so much less than what it's actually happening right now. And the real question, what I was wondering, is why is this going on? Why would anybody want to let these fires continue? And I get that there's money to be made. Usually a group of people make money or gain power with every devastating thing that happens out there, and that's no secret. We all know that. Someone always wins, and in California I get the power company won because they could bill the customers for the much needed updates and even get funding or some kind of a financial break from the government to get everything up to par. California also now has open space where developers can look at building, or at least consider it. In Australia, they can create a reset of sorts. The government's been trying to gain more and more control of the people, and a rebuild will allow more of this. Not only can they develop some of the land that was destroyed, they can build a cluster or compact housing that puts people close together. And at first this might sound great, right? Oh, we're going to have new infrastructure and new this and that. But the word cluster in my mind translated into control. And yeah, you might be close to the market. You can bike, you can walk, you can do all these different things. You might not need a car because you can use the rail system that they're wanting to build. This can all be developed on the guise of helping the climate because, yeah, it's more energy efficient. You're getting more people, less green space, cars aren't polluting, and all this kind of stuff. But the bigger picture is that you're voluntarily giving away rights and independence and freedom for more convenient travel. But the thing of it is as developments and cluster housings grow, while people revert to more and more public transportation, not only do they know where you are, what you're doing, or where you're going, if you needed to go any distance, they could throttle that. If you have a car and you can drive, you're free. You can go where you want. When you are limited by what is around you and what you have access to, that can be shut down in a moment's notice. So there is a huge element of control with these types of systems being put in place. And then something else that came to me, and I believe in synchronicity, and it crossed my path, was the spiritual component that's tied to all of this stuff going on in Australia. And so when I want to look at the physical ramifications of these 3D actions, of these fires, the stuff that's happening, very 3D driven. There is a spiritual part to it, and it's as if Gaia is allowing it to happen, and she's controlling it somewhat. So you have to think about it. You know, these powers that were, PTW, yes, they are in cahoots with, you know, all these darker forces, and there's money to be made, and corruption, and power, and all that kind of stuff. But the thing that they don't realize, Gaia is way bigger than any of them, and she ultimately has a say in what goes on. She could easily conjure up a storm, change the wind direction. I mean, there's different things Earth can do too, and I get that she is allowing it to happen. And this is part of a 3D lesson and a 3D experience that we have to live through. I also got there was a huge energetic vortex in Australia, or at Australia, where maybe ley lines intersect, or just the energy of the earth. I saw it like a belly button. So you're looking at a stomach, solar plexus, very emotionally driven, a lot of energy tied to that area, but that's what I saw when I looked at Australia on a larger global scale. And I guess she's wanting and almost encouraging some kind of an energy shift to happen. And I also saw this in some ways as a good sign that the 4D is upon us, because she wouldn't allow this to happen in the 3D if that wasn't the case. So that was a very interesting image that I saw emerge when I was thinking on this. And that's really all I have for this reading. Please send some love, light, and healing to Australia and the people that are living there, and the courageous people that are out there fighting, putting their lives on the line to save other people or try to do what they can to help this situation. It's just absolutely disastrous there. Very, very sad, and a lot of trauma is being dealt with. So any energy or any healing you can send, by all means, please do so. And I'd love to hear your comments. I'd love to hear your take. I'd like to hear what you think about the whole spiritual part of it. Do you know someone that's living there, that's living through this? Maybe there's a certain area that you'd like us to focus on and send some healing. I mean, anything like that. Please feel free to leave a comment. Also, like me and share me. It is so hard to get the word out with all of the different censorships that are happening. So I appreciate that. And just a quick shout out. Thank you, patrons, for all your love and support. I have a link in my description box if anybody wants to check my Patreon channel out. And that is all. Again, I'm Lynn with Psychic Focus at psychicfocus.blogspot.com. Thanks. Bye.